It's time to start bullying people and become rich. Make a lot of money from your fitness coaching business. You might say, Brandon, I don't want to bully anybody. I don't want to hurt anybody. Why would you ever title a video that? Why would you ever start off a video saying that? I just want to help people. Here's the reality, guys. I used to be a very timid salesman. I was somebody that was constantly like, oh man, you make the decision. I don't want to twist your arm at all. You go ahead, make the decision, decide if you want to work with me, if my program is right for you. You know, I'm here if you want me. That was my approach to sales. And back in the day, I helped very few people. Very few people actually signed up for my coaching program. And the one thing that really changed my perspective was the first client that I ever decided to sell hard. I said, I am going to back this person into a corner with their own words. With the words that they have told me, I am going to show them that purchasing my program is the best thing that they could possibly do with their money, with their time, and with their energy. And when I decided I'm going to back this person into a corner with their own things that they have told to me and force them into choosing my program, and it worked, that client went on to become incredibly successful. He lost a lot of fat. He built a lot of muscle. I changed his entire mindset. By the time he was finished working with me, he was unrecognizable. He was a different person. And that same guy came to me at the end of our time working together. He looked me dead in the eyes and he said, Brandon, do you remember the first sales call that we ever had? I was so timid. I was so passive. I was so scared to make a decision. Thank you, Brandon, for twisting my arm, for backing me into a corner and forcing me to make the choice that was best for me, even though it was painful in the moment. You see, so many of us take this incredibly passive approach to sales. And I think that the best salesmen use people's own words and their own pain points to ultimately get them to realize why they need the program so much. You can't just actually sit there and pound somebody and say, buy my program, buy my program, buy my program. But you have to get aggressive with them sometimes. You have to be real with them. You have to be honest with them. That is when sales actually works the best, both for you and for the clients that you are called to serve. Because what I realized after I trapped that client, he ultimately ended up signing up for my coaching, changing his entire life, and then thanking me for it afterwards, was that I had let a ton of people slip through my net. A ton of people who I knew that I could help. A ton of people who I knew were just scared to ultimately pull the trigger and actually spend the money to feel the sting of parting with their money. They were just fearful. And I couldn't get them to take a step in the right direction. Ultimately, I couldn't get them across the line that needed to be crossed. And now I must bear the burden that I was not able to change that person's life. And if you don't have that level of conviction with your offer and with your coaching, that means that you are lacking something as a coach. It's time to stop playing softball. It's time to start throwing fastballs. It's time to start taking it seriously. Actually sell with passion. Actually think about the value that you have to offer and the other lives that you have changed when you are sitting in front of someone on a call. Because so many people are scared of confrontation and telling that person who they might have just met what they actually think about the decision that they're about to make. They're scared to sit there and say to somebody, well, you told me earlier in this call that you wanted to become the best version of yourself. And you haven't been doing that by yourself. What makes you think that anything is going to change? If you decide, hey, I don't want to do this program, what is going to stop you from going back and doing exactly what you have been doing the past 5 years that has brought you to exactly where you are now? You see, these are the things that you have to keep in mind when you are actually selling a client. You have to understand that the burden of the sale is on you. If you are actually a good coach and you can actually get the results that you say that you can get people in your marketing, then it is your duty to sell it well. And if you are a bad salesman, you are shooting yourself in the foot, and you are doing those that follow you, those that fall into your funnel, a disservice. Because guys, everybody's scared. It's very rare that somebody has the exact amount of money to give you, to pay you for your coaching. Very rarely will they say, oh yeah, that's no problem at all. That price doesn't even bother me. And in fact, in those situations, it's often the people where the price doesn't sting that they won't actually take the program as seriously as they need to, as seriously as they should. Because your program needs to be at a high level of perceived value. People need to respect you as a coach. They need to feel that you are willing to tell them what they actually need to hear, not what they want to hear. And that starts on the sales call. That first call, when you hop on with a client, it is your duty to close somebody. It is your responsibility to close somebody. And if you are lacking on sales and you're making excuses for it by saying, oh man, I just didn't want to push him too hard. I didn't want to scare him too much. I didn't want to go too hard. I didn't want to use his own words and his own pain points and the things that he's told me back on him to help him make a decision. I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to be confrontational, That's why most salespeople suck. That's why most fitness coaches suck at selling their package, is because they're not bought in on their own value, but then they also just don't want to be confrontational and they don't want to make people uncomfortable. Well, here's the reality, guys. If you're a coach, somebody is there because their lives are already uncomfortable. It's your job to dig into that pain and show them that the pain of staying the same is going to be so much worse than the pain of changing and the pain of facing the reality that they're just pushing off their decision again. That they're just saying, hey, I want to think about this. Hey, I need to go talk to my wife first. All the classic textbook objections that you get, it's your job to handle those. It's your job to make the sale. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful. I think that a lot of people, especially the people that sell to men, need to hear this message. And they need to understand that you need to learn how to sell people properly and then go above and beyond on the back end and truly change people's life. That is how you build an incredible business. That is how you build zeal. That is how you build passion for your offer. And that is how a relationship-based business like online fitness coaching actually thrives. Is through that passion and through that zeal. People can feel it. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful. Make sure to drop a like down below. Drop a singular thumbs up in the comment section if you watched all the way through to the end of this video, because if you did, you got an attention span of steel, my friend, and I want to give you props for that. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.